Yukon Golds are a yellow fleshed potato with medium starch and a rich, almost buttery flavor. They are perfect for vegan mashed potatoes. Cut your Yukon Gold potatoes into quarters and add to a large stock pot. Cover with water and add 2 cubes of vegan vegetable bouillon. Bring the potatoes to a boil over high heat and then simmer for 20 to 25 minutes or until the potatoes are tender. Drain the potatoes into a colander, then return them to the stock pot. Low in calories yet creamy and mildly sweet, cashew milk is a must-use in vegan recipes. We add apple cider vinegar to cashew milk to make a vegan buttermilk, which gives the mashed potatoes their coveted creaminess. Add the cashew milk and vinegar mixture to the cooked potatoes along with 1 tablespoon olive oil, the roasted garlic cloves, salt, and pepper. Using a potato masher, mash these ingredients together until your desired consistency. Transfer the mashed potatoes to a serving bowl and drizzle with the remaining 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Garnish with fresh rosemary for color and flavor. Your roasted garlic mashed potatoes are now ready to be devoured.
Be prepared to wow your gathering with the savory vegan green bean casserole that tastes fantastic. Your guests might not even realize it's vegan. The first order of business is blanching the green beans, which are then set aside. Next, you'll create the delightful mushroom sauce with vegan butter or olive oil, plus shallots, garlic, salt, pepper, and of course, mushrooms. A little flour, some vegetable stock, and almond milk complete this culinary joy. The vegan crispy fried onions come into play next, as you add half of them into the sauce. Next, pour your green beans in a casserole dish. Add the mushroom sauce, toss to evenly coat, and sprinkle the whole thing with the remaining onions. A short trip in your oven seals the deal.
In a large bowl, toss together 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil, bread cubes, and pecans. Spread the bread and pecans in a single layer over a parchment-lined baking sheet and bake at 425 degrees for 8 to 10 minutes. In a large skillet, heat oil over medium heat. Add onion, garlic, and thyme sprigs. Cook, stirring often, for 5 minutes. Add mushrooms and cook for 5 minutes or until lightly browned. Add celery and cook for 3 more minutes. Remove the thyme sprigs and transfer the mushroom mixture to a large bowl. Add vegetable stock and white wine to deglaze the skillet. Season with salt and pepper and cook for 1 minute. Combine the toasted bread pecan mix with the mushroom mixture. Pour the stock mixture over the bread and mushroom mixture, tossing well to combine. In a small bowl, whisk together 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, maple syrup, paprika, cayenne, 2 tablespoons of oil, and half a teaspoon of salt. Set the glaze aside. In the bowl of a food processor, combine tofu, 1½ tablespoons of soy sauce, miso, cornstarch, garlic powder, and the remaining salt and black pepper. Blend for 30 seconds or until smooth. Brush a 9x5-inch loaf pan with oil and line it with a sheet of parchment paper cut to fit the pan horizontally. Brush the entire pan and parchment with more oil. Using an oiled spatula, line the bottom and interior sides of the loaf pan with 2/3 of the tofu mixture to create high, compact walls. Spoon the mushroom stuffing into the center of the tofu and press down firmly. Cover the remaining tofu and use the spatula to smooth the top. Brush 1/3 of the glaze over the top of the tofurkey. Place the tofurkey pan on a parchment-lined baking sheet and roast for 30 minutes, brushing the top of the tofurkey with glaze after 15 minutes. While the tofurkey is cooking, heat oil in a large saucepan over medium-low heat for about 30 seconds. Add mushrooms, shallot, garlic, thyme, and bay leaves. Cook for 5 minutes or until the mushrooms are tender and lightly browned. Pour in stock and bring to a simmer. Cook for 30 minutes or until the liquid is reduced by half. Mix 2 tablespoons of oil and 2 tablespoons of flour in a skillet. Stir constantly for 5 to 7 minutes. Add wine and cook for 30 seconds. Whisk in the reserved mushroom broth, salt, and pepper. Bring to a simmer over medium-low heat and cook for 10 minutes until the mixture is reduced and thickened. Pour the broth mixture and reserved mushrooms into a blender. Turn on high speed and blend well. Pour the gravy back into the pot and keep warm until ready to serve. Gently remove the parchment paper from the tofurkey and brush the remaining glaze all over. Broil the tofurkey for 6 to 7 minutes to brown and lightly crust the top. Sprinkle fresh parsley over the tofurkey and serve with the mushroom gravy on the side. In a large bowl, whisk together flour, baking powder, baking soda, sugar, and salt. Grate a frozen stick of butter into the dry ingredients and toss gently until the flour mixture coats the bits of butter. In a separate bowl, combine the sweet potato puree and milk. Mix the sweet potato puree with the flour mixture and a sprinkle of rosemary and work together quickly. Dump the dough onto a lightly floured surface and flour your hands enough to prevent sticking. Use a rolling pin to roll the dough out to about 3/4 inch thickness. Use a sturdy, sharp edge cutter for lofty, symmetrical biscuits. Place biscuits on a parchment-lined baking sheet and bake for 15 to 20 minutes or until the biscuits have risen high and are golden brown.
Your Thanksgiving table won't be complete without a gorgeous side of homemade cranberry sauce. All of the ingredients go into the pot at one time and cook without any stirring required. Combine the cranberries, sugar, cinnamon, nutmeg, cloves, orange juice, orange zest, Grand Marnier, and rosemary in the crock pot. Cover the crock pot and cook on high for 2 to 3 hours. The juice deliciously thickens and becomes a syrup. Remove the sprig of rosemary, transfer the cranberry sauce to a serving bowl, serve at room temperature or chilled, and enjoy.